Lesson 1. Dear students, I would like to begin the course Christian Social Teaching in a Communism Perspective, but before to speak about the Christian Social Teaching or Ecumenical Perspective or Communism, I would like to do some introduction of myself and of my understanding of the course. When I finished the studies of the banking economy at the Ukrainian National University, I asked myself, what did I study? For what? I didn't understand the sense of the profits, for example, because when I studied the formulas of the profits, I asked myself, why we destroy the land, the agriculture for the financial profits, if it is good for the health of the man, if it is good for the soul, for the land, if you won't like to achieve or to have some financial indicators. It is nonsense. Maybe, maybe not. Then I began to study theology. Maybe it is strange, but to understand economics without theology, it is impossible. Or sometime to understand theology without sciences like economy, ecology, politics. Because for many people, the question of theology is that the theology presents so higher ideals or values that it is impossible to achieve or to realize. Is it a mistake? Because the persons who know the science very well and who knows the theology very well, they understand that these spheres are not in the conflict between themselves, but help one another to understand this real mystery, this beautiful mystery of creation of God. I'm sorry for my English, I apologize for it, because all day I speak Italian or Ukrainian. I will do some little mistakes in my pronunciation or in the words, but I hope that you understand me. Why I begin to speak about the language? Before any course, what I teach, like social economics, social doctrine of the church, development, sustainable development of the communities, usually, and I prefer, to explain the meaning of the words for the students. Why? Because the words is the most important if you would like to understand the sense of anything. For example, the question of crisis is not when we don't have some good results, we wait for good results. The question of crisis begins when we lose the understanding of the words. For example, if we ask somebody the meaning of many words, originally they had one concept and the people understand them in other way. And to avoid it, I prefer in the beginning to understand the meaning of the and origins of the main concepts and main words which we will use for our course. For example, Social. Social from Latin means soci, alias people, group, institutions. They join themselves for common good or mutual benefits, or when they would like to achieve some purpose together, following the agreement between them. What does it mean? For example, we have some group, some number of the people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 30. It doesn't depend from the quantity. But often they are not organized. It is their weak place. On the other step, it would be to organize them in the groups of the research, groups of the for some interests. The purpose, the goal is that they must be organized in some organization. What is organization? Organization are some group of the person where they understand and they agree to have some duties, some responsibilities, to realize something for common good. Other concept, very important, is ecumenism. Ecumenism derives from Greek word oikoumene, that means the whole inhabited world. Here we have the question of the oikos. And now we analyze this word oikos because we meet it in many other sciences like economy, economics, ecology and others. What does it mean, the whole inhabited world? Oikos have different meaning. One of them, it means the world where we live. Sometimes we understand, or the house. Sometimes we understand that our house is some apartment or some house in some village where we live. But it is not so, because our house a little. Our house is situated on the land. And sometimes we understand the land is our house. But to live on the land, we need air, the atmosphere. And around of the land, we have atmosphere. But sometimes we ask themselves, can we live in the land? Yes. But can we live without the sun? Sun is outside of the land. And we couldn't live without the sun, without the light. That means that our house, oikos, is not the house where we live. It's not only the land where we live. It is all universal world that is created by God. And what is crisis? First meaning of the crisis is when we are not enabled or we don't see the beauty of the creation of the God. It is a reason of the crisis, conflicts and wars or anything which destroy ourselves. When I ask it myself, because I studied economics, and when I read different facts, economical facts, for example, In Ukraine, I give you example of Ukraine, and you can see it on the example of your countries. In Ukraine, we have 2 million of the people, 2 million of the people who had problem with alcohol. What does it mean to have the problem with alcohol? It means to drink 3 bottles of the vodka during the week. Now we can see 4 weeks, for 12 months, and you can multiply on the price of the 1 bottle of the vodka. We can see it is near 4 Ukrainian hryvnias, or maybe 4 euros. 12 and 40. Do you know how much it's a sum? It's a milliard dollars, which they use it in our community and our population spent only for one product like vodka. Now I will later I will give you the exactly sum. But other very important to remember the result of using for the vodka. It means destroy families. It means that the people must spend for the different medicine, hospital. It means that the government must spend many money for the police. Then we see a great number of the incidents in the roads. And we can see many people in depression. What means in depression? In depression, to be in depression, they are not happy in the situation and from their life, their productivity of their life is 0. Then we can see the expenses of the time of the life and hours of the working that the people spend to have the profits to buy only the vodka. And now you can bring some calculators and to see 2 million, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 12, 4, 40. It's 11. It is 11 billions, milliard, 520 millions of euros. 11 milliards and 520 millions of euros the people spend to buy the vodka. Then you can give the expenses of the expenses for the to have the police and others, and we have the final sum will be near 60 milliards of the dollars. When I began to study the economics, I didn't understand the sense. For example, why the government give only some 100 million for the education, for the instruction of the nation, and they always speak about the deficit of the money, and when the population has milliards to buy the vodka. Maybe you smile, but the same situation is with drugs, smoking, yeah, the industry of the smoking, joking, different playing, and others. When I asked myself, and I would like to find the motive of all it. The motive of all it is I found when I began to study theology. And because it is essential social question, it is a motive of the poverty and happiness, destroying the nature and other problems which we analyze later. So, when I begin to study theology, usually what we do, to understand it, we need to read Bible. And in the beginning, what we read? God created a world, thinking of word. What is word? Now, word is information. Information, the concept of information is a sequence of symbols that can be interpreted as a message, signs, signal, and others. Information builds any process. Part 2 of the first lesson. When I give you a simple example of using on the one product, and when I explain to you the concept of the oikos, we see that the human person are person socialis. That means that we can't live alone, and there are many problems which we can resolve individually. We must unite ourselves with other person, with other people who are in the same condition, in the same situation, for common good. In the beginning of the Bible, we read about the creation of the world. And from this scene, we can begin the concept of the ecumenism. Because when we would like to find the motive of different social problems like poverty, wars, conflict, destroying of the nature, and many others, these problems are in any nation, in any state, despite of the religion, despite of any vision of the person. And the social problems, social, economical, cultural, politics, are similar as the same for any reason of the people. Why? The theology gives the answer on it. Now, for example, we have the new concept, welfare state. But we forgot that the real welfare state was created by God, and He called it paradise. Paradise where everything and everybody was in harmony with external world. The Adam, first man, was created by God to see, to look for this paradise, for this beautiful garden, and then, when he had the wife, together they do something. What is sin? The sin is not this event that they eat some fruits, but the sin was that they looked to justificate their actions. One, and second, that the sin destroyed the harmony between man with God, and the sin destroyed the harmony between man and the world. The man, the Adam, went on the land outside of the paradise and began his life on the land. And what is ecumenism? When we speak about the whole inhabited world, ecumenism is a process to renew this harmony. Because the question of the salvation, when the church said it 2,000 years before, is not some fiction, but is reality. We give you some practical examples. Now, on the all, or maybe the greatest conference, many people speak. What? They speak to save the nature, to save the sea, to save ecology, to save air. If not, we can die. We destroy the land, we destroy our oikos where we live. And now, it is not some theological question, but practical need of us to work together to save ourselves. In the same time, that means to save the world where we live. And the religion gives very concrete studying, indeed, concrete teaching for ourselves. But usually, persons, people, hear other signs, like to achieve the profits, to have some style of the life, to consume different products, drugs, vodka, to smoke, which is without the sense. And despite of the theological or religious vision, they continue to do these so-called things which destroy our land and destroy ourselves. And what is sin? Sad meaning of the sin? Sin is everything which destroyed our lives and our right to live. Social ecumenism is born, and concept of the ecumenism is a question of ecumenism is not only to create the dialogue between the churches. Ecumenism has completely a very great mission. The mission of ecumenism to think, to discuss everything what unite us, which is common for every of us, and then to look and to see the differences. Because sometimes the difference only is the rich things, not something which share us. The social problems are similar for the nation of any religion. Because we not only we can live in our small houses, but we have the same air, water. We must look for this land, for the soils, for the agricultural sector, industrial. Because from the quality of them, depends our life and the future of our children. And ecumenism is not simple solidarity, even if the solidarity is in the base of the social communism, but ecumenism has spiritual renewal, spiritual bonding, spiritual action of the people inside of themselves.